I'm Gwen Preston of Resource Maven. We're here at the May Metals Investor Forum in Vancouver, and I'm joined by Scott Close of EMX Royalty. Thanks for coming to the show again.
Thank you for having me.
So EMX in a super interesting position, very full treasury because of the sale of your Russian copper gold asset, and now looking around everywhere for how to best deploy that capital to the benefit of EMX shareholders. So there's sort of two ways I want to approach that. First of all, you've announced a few what I would call small deals recently, covering large land packages, and I think people were probably keen for some more insight into how and why you made those moves. So there was a Millrock deal and there was a Corvus deal. So why don't you take us through the mentality behind those deals?
Right, so in the past couple of weeks we've announced two deals. One of those, the first one was with Millrock Resources, who's very active in Alaska, and it's run by Greg Beschler, who's a very astute geologist and engineer, and he's based in the Anchorage area. And he's had a long time interest in the Pogo district,
yes,
which is the area surrounding the Pogo mine in east central Alaska. So the Pogo mine, just to put it into context, has produced thus far, which is since 2006, in excess of 3 million ounces of gold. Mm-hmm. And then adjacent to that, there's a lot of gold shows and placer areas and old adits and things like that. But that district has really largely gone underexplored, right, yet there's a very productive high-grade mine right there with all of those gold shows, like I said, plus the infrastructure there that would facilitate reasonably easy exploration in the area. So through our geologic due diligence, we've determined that there is still a tremendous amount of gold there to be realized, and we want to take advantage of that. Obviously, we're not miners, we don't want to mine it, but we would like to have royalties on that when someone else does mine it. So as a consequence of that, we were able to put together a deal with Millrock, our colleagues there, and basically they went out and they staked the ground. We gave them the money to do that, and then we held back a royalty on that, plus we took shares in Millrock, which we think is a good company.
Sure.
And we think it's a fast, solid horse, and we want to be riding that.
Perfect.
So, and then we sort of did the same thing again very quickly with Corvus, and that's run by Jeff Pontius, who has a solid serial track record of discovery, and he's a believer in that district too. Yeah. So now we have about 56,000 hectares or 138,000 acres. Let me rephrase that. About 56,000 hectare royalty percent, or 138,000 acre royalty percent in that district.
Right.
So we have a real strong foothold in that district to take advantage of any development that may occur in the future. And there is a material degree of interest in that
right,
district right now from not only small and mid-tier players, but some major players also.
Right, and I mean, I think one of the questions that shareholders of EMX, you have this big bank account, everyone's been asking, sort of expecting big news, right? Like big deals. And the first deals to come out the gate are these small ones. And I think what's important that I pulled out of some conversations with you and with Dave is this is a very small percentage of the portfolio. And EMX is built on identifying lots of opportunities, identifying opportunities in areas that people haven't gone to, and being ahead of the curve in identifying those potential wins. And so that's what this is about, right? It's a small, dollars wise, it's a fairly small bet on a large area where you see a lot of opportunity and you think you're seeing it before other people are getting there.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we kind of call these lottery tickets. So it's better to have a lot of lottery tickets than just a few lottery tickets.
Exactly.
And we can, assign probabilities to those lottery tickets and scale those
appropriately,
the way we would like to, and of course depending on what's available. But we think those are really good lottery tickets to hold.
Absolutely. Then, in addition to lottery tickets, I know that the team is also looking for a bigger deal. And so this is EMX. You guys are very good technically, but you're also very entrepreneurial. So I'm not expecting personally to see you announce a normal type sort of gold royalty purchase, because those are competitive, those are expensive. I don't feel like that's something that the EMX team would necessarily go for. So I feel like you're probably out there looking broadly at royalty opportunities. So do you want to just talk a little bit about the types of things that you're assessing, or at least considering in looking for some new cash flow?
Sure. I mean, we'd love to have more gold royalties, but gold royalties, as you mentioned, trade at a substantial premium to other metallic or mineral royalties. You know, we'd love to have a royalty on a big long-term asset, something maybe like a potash royalty or a phosphorus royalty. I mean, your typical gold mine, I think the average life of a gold mine is 11 or 13 years or something. You know, a potash mine can go on for
50, 60
many
years.
decades, right? And so we'd love to have something like that. And they don't trade at the multiples that say a gold royalty would, but the amazing thing is the dollars that come off of a potash royalty spend identical to the dollars that come off of a gold royalty. So we are commodity agnostic, and we're willing to look at any mineral asset out there in terms of royalties, and that could be anything from you know, these bulk commodities to other metallic commodities. Or industrial minerals, or aggregate, or anything like that. So,
as long as it makes financial sense.
That's right. And it has to make financial sense. We don't want to buy royalties just to show that we have cash flowing to our bottom line from royalties, regardless of whether it makes financial sense or not, like we have seen some transactions in the sector take place. So it really has to make financial sense and make money for our shareholders for us to really embrace that opportunity.
Well, it's a fun, I'm sure you guys are having fun, having a big bank account and having your phone ringing off the hook with companies wondering whether you might be interested in an equity stake, a royalty deal. You know, you're looking at a lot of stuff, and I'm sure it's a pretty interesting days at the EMX office.
Indeed it is.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for coming. Good to catch up, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you so much.